Hello guys and welcome to Friday. Yes guys, you're joining me for your weekly news roundup in the gaming and entertainment sector, also tech. Haven't found any interesting tech again, funnily enough, stuff that didn't really interest me, so it won't interest you either. I have a very special guest. Draconis has joined me so we can discuss the end of week news. So yes, Drac, say hi.
Thank God it's Friday.
I swear to God, it's like you know when you get sand in your eye, right? And you can't get rid of it. That's what that's like. That's what that is like. Just once, please, just once, just a normal intro. please, Drac.
Wait a minute, you told me over on Fridays it's much more relaxed and goofy.
No, I said Fridays is relaxed, it's chill out, you know, people just want to hear the basic news updates, you know, and Monday they want the meat, you know. Right now it's just the potatoes, bro, so relaxed. It's sand in the eye, bro, sand in the eye.
Well, let's just jump right into it then. Not that long ago we reported on a rumor about Fallout 76 going free to play, and then we denounced that rumor because Bethesda came out and said, no, it's not going free to play. Germany has decided that it is going free to play.
Yes, guys, Germany has decided that Fallout 76 is going free to play. Yes, guys, free to play Fallout 76. There is a catch, as there always is. All you need to do to acquire Fallout 76 in Germany at the German GameStop is buy a used controller and you get Fallout 76 for free. So Fallout 76 is the price of a used controller. In the UK it's about £24, thereabouts, I believe it is. So for £24 you get a controller and the free AAA game, as Jim Sterling would say.
I'm wondering if you want me to try and read this sign I'm looking at in German.
Go, please, butcher that. Butcher it.
Erhalt beim Kauf 1 gebrachten PS4 controllers.
Right, that sounded scary. Don't ever repeat that at any convention you ever attend to, right? You might be closer to someone else. Right, moving on from that debacle, all right.
Wait. I just want to apologize to any German speakers out there. That was intended for comedy purposes.
Dude, seriously, don't repeat those words again. It sounded eerily scary. Right. Right, guys, believe it or not, over this past week, AAA publishers have taken a massive hit in the stocks, 2K, EA, and all the above. It's all got to do with what's happening in Belgium and in two of these states in America, the Netherlands, and so on and so forth. Yes, guys, the ban on microtransactions is finally coming to fruition. Bit more into it, it is now illegal to sell loot boxes in Belgium. I believe Washington and Hawaii have got that as well. Netherlands is looking into it. So it's becoming a thing. The predatory microtransactions from the AAA publishers is going to stop. And believe it or not, when it comes down to the real world and not the online world, believe it or not, there is a difference. Young, impressionable kids see bright, flashy things and they just buy it. And it's, end of the day, publishers, it's not illegal. Now it is, so yes, happy days. Gaming is taking the right step in the right direction.
By the time this goes out, because the changes were to go in effect on January 31st, so by the time this goes out, it should be effective already in Belgium. And while this is, at least as far as I understood it, something that's only happening in Belgium thus far, I can only cross my fingers and hope that more and more countries continue to do this kind of thing. And like you mentioned, there are at least a couple of states in the US that are looking into this. The possibility of classifying, loot boxes as gambling, as they should be. Hell, I even say blind bags you buy at a store for toys is gambling. Anytime you buy something, I don't care if it's collector's cards or anything else, when you purchase something and you don't know what you're getting, it's a game of chance.
Aye, but believe it or not, there's a certain degree of liability here, believe it or not. I do think that when it comes to AAA games, this would be talking specifically about FIFA here. Kids and young adults, old people like you and me, play FIFA as well. But who will be the most affected by this type of predatory, and it is predatory, microtransaction loot boxes? It will be kids. People such as myself and yourself understand that, right, £50 or $50 is a lot of money, perhaps we won't spend that this time. Whereas the kid, you just keep spending and spending and spending and spending. Stock prices have crashed, a massive crater in the EA price. 2K Games has suffered as well. EA says it believes in fairness, value, and fun. Fun is last on its agenda. Fairness, not really fair. Value, no value in it at all. So, and let's see, fun's at the end, so they don't really care. Yay, EA, you've done it again.
Well, and it's one of those things that they call like a backhanded apology or statement. Is, they're saying all this, but then they're also saying towards the end of that statement that it's like, oh, but while we're doing this, we don't agree with the authorities, so we're going to keep looking into more clarity on this as we go forward. Like, we're going to keep looking for loopholes so we can get this shit back in.
The thing is, the problem with EA, right, is that these microtransactions, loot boxes, have become the backbone of the company. Nothing to do with game development, nothing to do with actually producing content. It's just the loot boxes. And loot box. That's how these guys are making their money. And now to see that loot boxes are being banned, you can now see EA taking a dip. Even though they say it's not going to affect their financial gains and earnings and whatever have you. Yeah, that's what they set up to Battlefront rather. That's what they set up to Battlefront 2, and look what happened then. And now they're setting up to FIFA, and look what's happening now. So yes, EA is circling the drain, sadly.
Well, I don't know if I should go so far as to say circling the drain. They're still going to have plenty of microtransaction income from here in the US and other countries, at least for a little while to come. But you mentioned Jim Sterling earlier, and he makes a good point when he says that the gaming industry and the greed within the AAA gaming industry culture has basically made its own bed in this whole mess.
Oh, I totally agree. I believe the way they've structured video game development is very similar to what they've done with movies in Hollywood, and it's not the same content. They just want more money. The more investors they have, the more money they've got to churn out. The only way they're going to do it is by targeting kids. And that's what they've done. So, yeah. Well done, EA. Belgium has slammed the door in your face, and it's a deck of cards. Once one card falls, or dominoes, probably a better analogy. Once one domino falls, the rest follow. So let's hope this actually stops, and then EA can actually focus on content design. This is what I'm hoping happens at Anthem.
Well, since you're talking about this, I don't think microtransactions are anywhere to go anytime soon. And if we look at some of the news that was coming out with Anthem this week, I almost wonder if it's somebody within EA that released this just to see what the community and the market how they would respond. But there was an image released to Reddit, the quote-unquote leak, that basically made it look like it was going to cost about $20 for a reskin of the Javelins, and that I think an emote on there would be around like $12 or something like that. And now where people are getting this monetary amount from is that there's two types of economy in Anthem. There's the gold coins that you can earn as you're playing the game, and then there's these purple shards that you can purchase with real money. And so people were using things like Fortnite as an example, that you spend $1 and you get 100 of the in-game currency. And so looking at the armor pack that costs 2,000 shards, they're assuming that basically that armor is going to cost $20. Now, BioWare did come out and respond to the Reddit post and said that, they don't like to comment on stuff like this. They didn't release this information because they're calling this an iteration. They're saying that this was just one iteration and that it's changing every day. Take that with a grain of salt, believe it, doesn't really matter. We'll see what it is in a couple of weeks when the game comes out, and hopefully it won't be this bad. But I think the important part here is, first of all, that seems priced too highly to many folks, myself included. Anything over $5 for a complete reskin, and I'm going to be probably not doing it. But here's the thing. It's a AAA game release that is a full price game release. One of the reasons why games like Warframe and Fortnite don't catch a lot of flack for maybe charging $10 for a skin or something like that, if that's an accurate price, I'm not sure. But they can get away with charging a higher price for reskins of things because they're free to play games. And this isn't even the first time we've seen a AAA developer try to do this, where they sell you a game for $60 or $80 just to get in, and their pricing model on all of their microtransactions are also very high. And it's like, if you're going to charge somebody just to get into the game, your microtransactions need to be a lot smaller.
Now, you see, I actually agree with that little tinfoil you put out there. I actually wanted to see if it's actually going to be like someone from EA or perhaps BioWare sticking that little tidbit out there just to see how the market, or rather the consumers, react to it. And to be fair, if it's only cosmetic, don't care. If it's game-breaking, like Battlefront, I actually vehemently detest it. So, if it's, for example, if it's going to buy me an armor suit, I will raise my eyebrows to it and I will scorn it to death. But if it's just for, I don't know, a shade change or a tone change to whatever have you on the old color slider, I don't really care. I really don't care. It's same thing happened in Destiny, and with Destiny, you know, I can only draw my Destiny experience because that's the only sort of open world game I've really played to its fullest extent, is that they had two different currencies, premium and plebs, and my thoughts on it were, well, just make one currency and balance the game properly, instead of having two different currencies and having two different values on things, whereas you can grind it out, or you can just take the shortcut. No, one currency, balance the game, in, out, sweet, nice, tidy. I do like your sort of assumptions towards things, but, you know, if this is just cosmetic, I don't see what the problem is. If it, however, buys you armor, then there is a problem.
Well, the armor is just a reskin. It's not going to give you any extra abilities or any, you know, special attacks or anything. It's just a reskin of the current armor that you're already wearing. So it is purely cosmetic, and on that aspect of things, that's fine. We don't exactly know, you know, what the rate is that we're going to be earning gold coins. You know, how quickly we might be able to earn something like that in game. Hopefully, it's not too much of a grind. And while I partially agree with you as far as, you know, oh, it's cosmetic, so it's not as big a deal. You know, once you've finished the in-game story and you're just grinding out for things like maybe specific weapons or upgrade materials to upgrade or craft better weapons, you know, one of the other things that you might be grinding out for is, you know, making your javelin look cooler. So if the in-game coins are coming at a good enough rate, then yeah, no, that's not as much of a problem and you can work towards that. But if it is a horrendous grind to get those in-game coins, then it's going to push people more towards being willing to spend the money to just get something because it's not worth the amount of time to put into it. And knowing EA, I would not be shocked to find out that they're going to target it that way. But, you know, like I said, until the game actually comes out and we see how these things run, we don't know. You mentioned Destiny. They've hit a pretty good balance between the two coins, where a lot of that stuff that you earn, you can earn bright dust in the game pretty well and pretty frequently and quickly enough that I end up usually having more bright dust than I need. So that's great. You're right, though. I don't know why we need to have two sets of currencies, like why I need to have silver and bright dust in Destiny. Like, why can't I just, if I wanted to spend money, instead of buying silver, why can't I just buy me X amount of bright dust?
Yeah, that makes total sense to me. Total sense.
So, anyway, it remains to be seen what the actual pricing will be when Anthem releases in 2 weeks. And I say 2 weeks because that's for the folks that pre-ordered. It's actually out on the 22nd. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see how that goes. And hopefully the pricing isn't this bad. And hopefully the in-game currency is earned at a quick enough rate.
Believe it or not. Bams, believe it or not. I think that's my catchphrase. By the time this episode airs, it will be the first, and the demo is live to everyone who wishes to go and play Anthem. So get on your PS4s, get on your Xboxes, download the free demo, and actually have a bit of a play and see for yourselves. Because ultimately, that's what we are here for. Okay, now moving on from one debacle to the next, Metro Exodus. The Steam Epic Games cadenza. Let's just say that. Debacle, cadenza, yeah, debauchery. We can say all these nice pretty words. Nice flavorful pretty words. Metro Exodus has tweeted out confirming that all Steam pre-orders and sales for Metro Exodus will be honored on Steam. So you guys don't have to stress about having wasted your money on the Steam platform. It is just $10 cheaper on the Epic Games platform, and I believe Drax said THQ Nordic is throwing Deep Silver under the bus. They are distancing themselves from this whole this whole mess. And I'm like, well, the board meeting that happened included everyone. Everyone said yes to this. So I don't know why not THQ is distancing themselves when I'm pretty sure they agreed to what Deep Silver were doing before they did it. So as far as I'm concerned, line them all up against the wall, shoot them down with the same, I'm not going to say bullets here, but shoot them down with the same criticisms as everything else. They should have just had it on both platforms without having to go exclusive, because the exclusivity of one thing is actually a bad business venture. I think they should have just had the game on both platforms. However, on the Epic's platform, should have made it £10 cheaper, and guess what? No one would have batted an eyelid, and people would have flocked to the Epic Games thing without having made it exclusive. Well done.
I don't agree that folks would have flocked to Epic, but there definitely would have been plenty of sales going to Epic because of that $10 savings. There are a lot of folks that will buy a game on Steam, even if they miss out on a sale, because they want to have it in their Steam library. And I've done that in the past with a few games because for whatever reason, I just wanted to have them, in my Steam library with the rest of stuff. But to what you were saying earlier about Nordic throwing them under the bus, they released a statement basically that said the decision to publish Metro Exodus as a timed Epic Store exclusive was made entirely on Koch Media's side, as Metro is their intellectual property. So, I believe that THQ Nordic actually owns or purchased Koch Media and Deep Silver, but it sounds like it was a decision that they made, probably, if I had to guess, because Epic came and offered them a bunch of money to go exclusively over to Epic. It's a timed thing, so it's only for a year, and then at which point it'll probably show up on the Steam store again. So, you know what? Who knows? Maybe we can get this on a summer sale in a year and a half.
There's no ways in hell this decision could have been made just on one party. It had to be a combined effort to completely cluster this.
So you think this is a PR thing, that they're coming out, seeing the response, and they're just going, oh, no, we do, this was all them.
Yep, I do believe this.
Either way, they're throwing them under that bus.
Oh, yes, I believe this Flustercluck is a combined effort from Deep Silver and the THQ Nordic. However, I think THQ Nordic can throw the lesser morsel under the tires of a rolling bus that is just the community and the games journalists that like to report on not anything bad in video games. Fallout 76 started this trend, and I'm pretty sure you'll find ever since Fallout 76 and Battlefield 5, there's a lot of negativity within the gaming community.
Yeah, but the hilarious thing about Bethesda is, I swear, every time some other game takes their attention, it's like they're like, hold my beer. They got to do something else to get the attention back. It's the game that keeps on giving and ways you don't want.
Not disagreeing with you, mate. It just seems that, unfortunately, Fallout 76 has taken a proper nosedive. In Germany, of all places, you can get it secondhand. You can get a secondhand controller, rather, and get the game brand new for free. The debacle with EA and 2K games with regards to loot boxes and microtransactions, Metro being thrown under the bus thanks to Deep Silver's exclusive decision. I don't believe that's correct. And of course, the shock microtransactions from Anthem, be it cosmetic. Guys, that is all the tidbits and news roundup for the week. Thank you very much for joining me and Drac. I will see you all on Monday again. Toodaloo and Toodlepip. Anything else you want to add to this? Because this one's going to be relatively short.
When we did our upcoming games on Wednesday, there was one we forgot to mention. This is an indie dev we talked to a while back, and they're making this gorgeous, like Skyrim-like, as far as the kind of art style and whatnot, game where it's just a relaxing exploration type game called Eastshade. And that will actually be releasing on February 13th. So if you listen to the episode on Wednesday where we were talking about games coming out this February, that's one we missed, but that will be out this coming this coming month. So anyway, thank you. Like Bam said, like, subscribe, share, all the fun stuff. We greatly appreciate it. Have a good day.